Hello, hello, hello. How are y'all doing today? I know I just did a video for you guys. It's going to be a busy news day because I'm going to have to bring you continuous updates on what's going on because it could end today. This shutdown could end today. But right now, it's not looking like it's going to. But the time limit is there. And I want to tell you what agencies are going to be affected by this partial government shutdown. And listen, we always need to be preparing for the worst, praying for the best, knowing that God is in total control. But we also know that there are some things that aren't, that are out of his control because people are going to do what people want to do at their own will. So let's dig in. Please hit the like button, share the video out, you guys, because my videos are not being pushed by YouTube. So I really do appreciate those of you who have hit the like. I appreciate those of you who share the videos. And I'm just asking, could you please hit that free 99 like button and leave a comment, even if it's just a heart. So this partial government shutdown has entered its third day, and the funding standoff continues because it's about DHS and the funding to ICE. So the partial U.S. government shutdown entered its third day. If we back up on Friday, just right at the stroke of 12, the House agreed, but it was too late, so they went into a partial government shutdown. Now, being the weekend, nothing really, transpired. But as of today, that shutdown is still going on. So that means there are workers out there who showed up to work will not be getting paid. Now, I don't know if they'll get back pay, and there could be workers that may not be rehired back. They may just go ahead and terminate those employees. So the partial U.S. government shutdown entered its third day on Monday without resolution as Democrats continue to demand immigration reforms as part of any funding deal to reopen the government. Senate Democrats and Republicans agreed to a package of 5 spending bills on Thursday, but stripped out a 6th bill on full fiscal year funding for the Department of Homeland Security, DHS. The Senate instead approved a 2-week funding for DHS that gives lawmakers more time to work out disputes over the long-term budget. Democrats want changes to the immigration enforcement operation, including requiring agents to wear body cameras and that are turned on and to not wear masks. The package approved, and they want them to wear ID as well. The package approved by the Senate must now be cleared by the House of Representatives. I had that backwards. I said the House approved, so it was Senate approved. So correction on that. Before it is sent to President Donald Trump's desk for signature, the Senate package includes funding for the Defense Department, the Health Department, Treasury, the federal court system, and other agencies until the end of 2026 fiscal year on the 30th of September. Now, mind you, they're saying that this is not going to affect your tax returns and stuff like that. But we just came off of a government shutdown in October to December, 40 days. Okay. And it did affect IRS, and it is going to affect your tax returns. So whatever was paused during last year's government shutdown, they're still getting caught up with that. So there is going to be delays with people's tax returns. Now, this one has no other choice but to be affected because they're going to go in order. But funding for these federal agencies ended at midnight on Saturday, resulting in a partial shutdown as the House is yet to approve it. The effects will be minimal, though, they say, as many government services do not operate over the weekend. That being said, today is Monday, and they're still not operating. The House Rules Committee is expected to meet on Monday afternoon to consider a funding package. So I will definitely bring y'all an update. Once that come in, I'll do like a shorts or something just to let you know, okay, hey, the shutdown is still going on or the shutdown has ended. The Senate approved package must first clear a procedural hurdle known as the rule vote, which Democrats are expected to vote against it. California Democratic Representative said that he was advocating for his colleagues to vote against DHS stopgap funding. Okay, so and then go over to this other article because we're going to find out what is affected by this. And prayerfully, they'll get it together and have it. I'm so stopped up. And have it together. Okay, so here are the departments. In addition to DHS funding for other major departments and their sub-agencies has lapsed, they include the Defense Department, State Department, Department of Labor, Department of Health and Human Services. Y'all know what all falls under Department of Health and Human Services. Department of Education, Department of Transportation, Department of Housing and Urban Development. Okay. Section 8, all that stuff. Treasury Department as well. Several of the departments have notices on their websites already about this funding lapse. Due to the lapse in appropriations, websites updates will be limited until full operation resumes. And that's according to the State Department site. Let's see. Okay, so the 2-week funding measure for DHS, which Democrats advocate for, means both parties have little time to come to an agreement over how to reform the administration's approach to immigration enforcement in the wake of 2 deadly shootings by federal agents. They've also demanded a uniform code of conduct, accountability to hold federal agents to the same use of force policies as state and local law enforcement, which I agree with that. If they're going to be out here representing and acting as if they are, then they need to be held accountable for the same thing that your local law enforcement would be for taking the life of somebody and being investigated, at least to see, was it justified, was it not? But to say we're not going to even investigate, I think that is just going to lead to a whole mess of foolery. Okay, let's see. Let's go over to, if I can find it.
The Senate struck a deal last minute on a President Trump-backed government funding bill. The House is expected to vote on it Monday. MS Now's Michael Schnell.
We have a partial government shutdown to talk about this morning, Jan, though Republican leaders think that we are going to be able to move this forward. Lawmakers trying to avoid yet another record-setting shutdown like the one the country endured late last year. You can't forget that. The Senate passing the funding package late on Friday after striking a bipartisan deal. Now, that deal is making its way to the House, where Speaker Mike Johnson is confident that he can get things passed tomorrow in exchange for funding.
So if they do, I will definitely, one way or the other, I will definitely let you guys know exactly what they come up with. So that's the latest update on the government shutdown. Let's continue to prep, stay prepared, because we just don't know where things go. You know, do they just fund enough and kick it down the road and then here we go facing another one later? We don't know. Okay. And what we don't know, we can't sit here and assume. So all we can do is take care of what we can take care of. And a part of being prepared is also keeping that mindset that you need to be preparing your bodies. You need to be preparing your mind and your spirit, because if you know Bible, then you know that at some point there's going to be a time where we have to be like Lot and his wife, and we have to flee. And in fleeing, that means you don't have time to grab stuff and go. You just go. So we need to be, you know, I was watching something and it was saying how we should practice these things now. Okay. If you plan to be one that's not going to submit to the head and handwear that they want to eventually give us. We need to be preparing now by preparing our bodies, our minds and stuff for that moment where, you know, either you go or it's your life or whatever, you have to go. You don't have time to grab that bug out bag that you prepared. Now, if it's with you, it's with you, but you're not supposed to go back and get nothing. You're supposed to go. Okay? You're supposed to leave. You don't have time to go grab your coat, your medicine, all this other stuff. So we got to do the best we can with what we have. It's good to be, you know, sufficient, but it's also good to know that God is enough. He is sufficient enough. And so when that time comes to leave, you have to be willing to let that stuff go. It's just stuff. It's just stuff. My preps that I have in my home is just stuff. So I'm going to leave it there. Y'all take care, stay safe, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video out, and I'll see you in a couple of hours. Turn your notifications on. Bye.